Welcome back to Satisfactory. Okay, I think it's time to get the vehicle transport milestone completed. And we just so happen to be right here so we can get it done. And we shall ship it. Oh, we got the big one.
Milestone reached. Tractors permit pioneers to move around the world in a manner similar to using legs, except with wheels and the rampant consumption of natural resources. They can also be automated to self-drive and deliver resources between truck stations, which in turn facilitate automation of loading, unloading, and refueling.
You know what? I don't know how many truck stations we need. But it looks like we're going to need some modular frames. Or I don't know how many trucks we're going to need. We pretty much need 2 truck stations. That's easy. Not enough modular frames. Three equals 2. That's probably close enough. Ugh, this one needs screws, and I never have screws. You know what? Let's upgrade that one belt just to make it a little faster. That'll get us a good amount of rotors. Actually, we almost have all the rotors we need. The real problem is the concrete. That's the real issue. I don't know if I'm ever going to have... Maybe not within the confines of this one video am I going to have the necessary concrete. And I think we should go ahead and ramp this all the way to the ground. Okay. The simplest thing for us to do would be to set this up. am not getting a great horizontal to vertical option here. I really wanted to go up first and then over, but no matter which way I pick, it's picking down first, then over. Oh, I guess that's technically true since these are not aligned and you can't... There's no flip option, is there? Let's just double check and make sure there's not a flip option. Everybody's getting equal amounts of all resources. Oh no. Oh, I do have the floor hole. Ooh, thank goodness. This one feels a lot closer. We might need some room. Connect that splitter directly to that. Wait, that doesn't look like it's actually connected. Hold on. What's the speed of these? Organization, logistics. 120. 120 technically isn't fast enough. Okay, that looks like more or less equal spacing there. And we'll just connect this. Nice and easy using straight mode. Now, where are we going to connect? There's a decent amount of coal in here. The question is can we make this turn? We'll go out. Well, we can't go out any more than that. So that's what we'll do. Maybe that part's not a ramp necessarily. We've got 3 over here and maybe 2 over here.
Fix-It reminds you to drive vehicles accurately through a truck station's dock area while recording a path. This ensures it will connect properly once everything is automated. The truck station can be set to load or unload, and can also refuel vehicles. Unlike some pioneers, truck stations care about saving humanity.
Okay. I wish I had my steel version of these. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in a nice little splitter right here. I guess technically I could put in 2 of them. And then put a merger over here. I put this right in the way. Let me give myself a little space. There, so both sides will be responsible equally at least. Oh, I got this all grossly laid out. Let me try this again. What I want to do is have both of these to give coal back. Why is this going out? Definitely want that to go in. We knew we were going to run out of concrete. I was kind of hoping we'd have a little longer than that. I should probably put in a couple of storage containers. We can get this thing going right away. You know, I could do a slight overclock there, but our power situation is so tenuous. And hey, bird. I was hoping for a ley line, but I guess I'm not going to get that. There we go. I like this freewheeling conveyor hole solution. I guess technically this isn't of itself the very buffer I'm looking for. At least to start, right? And we'll just do a nice connection to and fro. You know, we didn't have the power connector that we wanted. Let me manually move some coal over here. Going to be a tight turn to get out of here, but I think it'll be fine. I'd like to try to do this before we end up with a another power outage. Three of these might be the perfect amount. Oh yeah, I probably should make some more tools. I wanted that power this exactly.
As Fixit amply demonstrates, you can never have too much management.
See if we can get this aligned perfectly. Might be better to try it this way. And then we'll go up one. Okay, then I want to try to connect this. To the one we've got at the very top here. And we'll connect this to here. Actually, it might make sense to go high on this. Let me see. What are the connections? Yeah, the connections are kind of up and about. This is technically, this would be wire clipping if I try to connect it directly. So I think I'll go from here to here, then down to here. Took that long for the water to pump up, huh? Why don't I see coal on these conveyor belts? One of them must be angled in the wrong direction. Let's say there we go. So it was a directional problem. Oh, we gotta connect this to the grid. Hi. I'll probably end up covering this. So half of that's covered already. That should add a good chunk of power to our grid. Of course, those, yeah, there's the capacity jump. Gotta remember the biomass burners act more like batteries than they do power generators. Where do I want to connect this? I kind of like what I did last time where I did the 3 and then the drop down. I should probably just do something like that again. Okay, that almost got us killed. What did that even connect to? Wow. A very particular, highly targeted place that I probably couldn't do if I tried. That wires up the other 3. Now, the problem is I preloaded these with coal. Oh, they're only using 15 per minute. So 15 per minute, 45. Each belt is only going 60. Oh, so this is actually really good for this low-level belt solution I've got set up. And since each of these are connected on their own belt system, then 60, 45, and then each of these are on their own, so that's perfect. Technically, we need power for this. As in, I wouldn't consider ourselves done until we had power set for this, even though we're technically not going to use it right away. These are actually getting used in a halfway decent amount now. So 15 times 6, 90 coal per minute. with the fact that if we use the vehicle solution, which, unless I just want to build a giant belt, we're going to have to do a vehicle solution. Normally I would just try to do a giant belt. Very long belts are annoying, but they're super efficient once you've got them built. They cost nothing to run and they can go forever, and once the first item arrives, the next item arrives immediately after. So this is currently running at 60. How much did I say I needed? 90. If I go 180, then I can throw half away. Of course, I can't get 180 because our belt speed is only 120. So we shouldn't use this. We shouldn't use the power for that. So this is only giving me 60 if I keep throwing away coal. Yeah, this is annoying. This belt speed is definitely limiting me. But I think I should just be limited. And now just take this into account exclusively. So if I need 90, I can set this to exactly 90. Once I get the overflow option, I could come back and get tickets for some of the other stuff. But for right now, I think it makes sense just to say 90, save the power. This is definitely a Dagny Taggart style road. Very short for a specific purpose. And then I think if we let it go for now, we might end up with enough room in our inventory. Vehicle setting, load. No, unload. We might be in a good spot here. And actually the Mark 1 belt is the perfect belt for that. So we're not even going to upgrade that to try to save ourselves some resources. I think that's pretty good. A nice round 450 production. So that means only the coal power plants are currently running. You know, I'm going to be using just a tiny bit of coal. I'm going to be using a tiny bit of coal for the vehicles. But I think I'm just going to have to suffer through that. I am going to call it there. I think next episode we'll put in the road. The reason why I want to stop is because we don't have enough concrete. And this road's going to take a lot of concrete. Unless the asphalt version is cheaper, which I don't think it is. Cost to build 2 concrete. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be better to have the asphalt just from a RP perspective. And it costs 4. I always have just under 200. Hey, we got the frames we needed for our next episode, and we got the rotors we needed. And then I'll drop reinforced plate in here. I think that's pretty good. Let's call it there. We got the basics built. Oh, yeah, the reason why I was kind of wandering around looking at how much stuff we had is because we could throw some stuff away. But I would probably want it to be kind of more expensive stuff. Of course, if it's stuff that we have a ton of, that's even better. We need an expensive thing that we have a ton of. Just typically cable. And then you know what? I'm going to spike it with the smart plating. By the time we get to the point where we need the smart plating to advance the game, we'll have the production for a ton of smart plating. So this 60 is actually more valuable to us right now as coupon fodder. I'm surprised it's not going up faster. I guess that was the spike. Proteins are still good early game since they're on their own scaling system. And get some quick points out of this as well.
All fixed vetted materials are tested for toxins, hallucinogens, and other biologically adverse effects. Pioneers are advised not to immerse themselves in these materials, and not to lick, eat, breathe in, or otherwise consume them.
How kind for you to let me know that. Okay, I think we're all set. It's looking pretty good. And I think next episode we'll just put in, assuming we ever have enough. What are we doing here? 30 limestone. This guy technically wants 45 limestone. $15 concrete per minute. I mean, it's not a huge change, but I think it's sufficient. Oh, wait a minute. There's 2 of these. Oh, we could actually make a difference here. So they're consuming 90 per. I'll just take the max. Mark II mining would also be good, but we don't have that unlocked yet. Now we have to upgrade the logistics of that belt to 120. Since the old belt was 60. So that'll help us get a little bit extra concrete for the road that we want to build. And then you know what else? I'm thinking we could consider... What are the quartz crystal? We don't need the billboard right away. I could make use of some of these signs, but we technically don't have any quartz to support it. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's call it. I think we're in a good spot. We switched over to automated power, not renewable, automated. 345 max consumption to our 450 production. See, so now that, even that little bit of uncaptured power makes me want to get power storage. Oh boy, there's a whole bunch of stuff there we just don't really have access to properly. It's just not right. I'll have to suffer with the knowledge that we aren't capturing all of the possible. I think all tier 4 is all steel. Advanced steel production only requires 100 pipes. I think we're going to call it there. We need basic steel production. So technically getting that right away doesn't really help us. So I think we're good. We'll stop there. We'll get the... We'll get the road done in the next episode so we can truly say that that's automated. We'll have to see what the downside is to using the vehicles themselves, the power, the transport, using that same coal. But as far as like a little power plant goes, I think this is perfectly fine. If push comes to absolute shove, we can do a little overclocking. But we'll have to see about that. But we'll figure it all out in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.